Morning, everybody, on a balmy, almost 4th of July day, but not quite. I mean, it's not quite the 4th. Boy, do we have some stuff coming up celebration-wise. Going to be a big deal. So it's Rose and Ben, fall down 7 times, get up 8, the thrill of victory, agony of defeat. Rosie is here working without a net. We have some friends coming on with us this morning. One of our friends you know very well. Jody will be here before long. You know, we do the chamber chats with Jody of the chamber every Monday, except when we don't do it on Monday, and then we do it on Wednesday, except when we don't do it on Wednesday, and then we have Jody come and join us on Rose and Ben. So Jody will be in about 11:30, something like that. Rosie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's a great day outside, and we've had moisture and moisture and moisture.
I think everybody got the wheat in, I think. Now, there's somebody out there right now cussing because he didn't, and he just heard what I said. But most everybody got it in, and most everybody I talk to, Rosie, says pretty much the same thing, which is it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, speaking of the harvest. It's certainly not as good as some of them has been, and it's not as good as I'd like for it to have been, but it's good enough to get us into next year.
You know, that's exactly what I've heard, is exactly what you've said.
Thank you very much. People don't say that to me very much at all. So Cade Kennedy is here with us this morning, the producer director and the associate SID at NWOSU, and he'll have reports. And as a matter of fact, he'll probably have a report right now. I see him over here with copious notes. You probably have a lot of information for us, huh?
I'm still just celebrating the fact that OU won a national title in baseball.
Wasn't that a deal?
That was. I mean, that was incredible.
It was, and I watched it on a live stream, Cade, and the live stream was the broadcasters were from the other team. They really had a tough time the last 2 or 3 innings trying to make it. Well, this is good, this is okay, type of thing.
I mean, that's one of the most brutal spots to be in. You're down 10-2 in the national title game, and you can't be negative.
Exactly. So they told each other, there were 4 of them, they told each other how good they had done as a broadcast team and how great they were to work with the other guys. That's about where it went.
I mean, you just got to find something positive at that point, and there wasn't for North Carolina.
So you went to a game.
I did. I went back when they played Georgia the first time. So that would have been, I guess, 11 days ago. That's crazy to think about that was a week and a half ago. But yes, I finally got to go up there. It was a lot of fun. If you haven't been to Omaha, if you're a baseball fan, you need to get up there at some point. I mean, it is just a magical place. You've got all the different fan bases together. It was truly a great experience.
Awesome. And Cade will be bringing us information throughout the year from his job at Northwestern Sports, all kinds of sports. We have we always have interesting people. I know one of these guys, and you do too, because he's been in and out of our studios and stuff. He's an electronic gizmo genius, and his name is Brody Schmidt. How you doing, man?
Doing well.
Good to have you here. Where this came from, and you know, you listener, what we do on Rose and Ben is have somebody in the community that's doing something that the rest of us want to know something about, and bring them in and interview them. So there's no set questions. These guys haven't looked at any questions. In fact, you're going to have to introduce the gentleman with you.
Sure. I brought with me Chris Cunningham, and he's over 16 years experience dealing with Medicare and basically people going into retirement and on retirement, and he's our regional expert for it. And
is that regional states?
I would say states, because our office, I'm with the Assurance Group, he's with the Assurance Group. We're a large nationwide group. we're brokers, and so that means we're not locked into just, oh, we only sell this company or only sell that company. We deal with all the companies that are available, and for Medicare supplements and that sort of thing. And we're required to be also have some experience and have our certifications for Medicare Advantage as well. And so we at least have that and can talk either thing that people are on.
That brings to me, and this is something Rosie and I are very interested in. Now, Rosie, I was just telling you, Brody, that I was on the phone after the show one morning, and Rosie overheard the conversation. And when I hung up, she said, "What was that about?" I said, "That was my chiropractor. I can't hardly move my head. I got to go see the chiropractor." She said, "I've never been to a chiropractor." We continued the conversation, and I found out she's never had a massage. So, I mean, she's only 91, so it could change, right?
Yep, exactly. We never know what tomorrow's health is what new adventure it's gonna send us down.
Boy, isn't that the truth? So the question that just came up, you gave it to me while you were talking on the introduction, and I'm going to ask your boss. I have a Medicare supplement, and I get called by Advantage people saying that I can beat that. What's the difference between a Medicare supplement and I think it's called the Advantage thing? Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct. Medicare Advantage is a Medicare replacement. Basically, original Medicare gives you the ability to go to any hospital, any doctor in any state. If you leave the country with a Medicare supplement, you do have foreign travel coverage that you will not have as extensive with Medicare Advantage. You still have to pay your Part B premiums to take Medicare Advantage, but it really is not meant for rural areas. It's meant for highly populated metros where you have access to care. And originally when Medicare Advantage was rolled out, it was for VA, for Indian Health, and for Medicare and Medicaid only. It wasn't for the general public. And so, Medicare Advantage, while it has many added benefits, it does have its limitations as well, especially if you live rural.
The limitation in that area, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that under the Advantage plan, you can't just go to any old doctor.
Correct. Yeah, you have to stay in network, depending on if an HMO, PPO, or private fee-for-service plan. You have to set a particular doctor. Referrals and things are needed. Where original Medicare, you can just get in the car and go. If a doctor tells you have cancer and you think they're full of beans, you want to go to MD Anderson, to the Mayo Clinic, or another hospital that has a specialist, you get in the car and go. With Medicare Advantage, you cannot do that.
So, but with Medicare Advantage, it was explained to me this way, to correct me if I'm wrong. It's a kind of an a la carte thing where you can pick, or you have various things available to you that you don't under the Medicare supplement.
Well, there's a lot of misconceptions with Medicare supplements. People always tell, or agents commonly will tell people they'd have no vision coverage, and that's not true. With original Medicare, they have vision coverage. They can go to an ophthalmologist, and it's treated just like a regular office visit going to a doctor. Going to an optometrist, however, they would not have any coverage. So what we generally tell people is to go to a facility that has both ophthalmologist and optometrist. And usually what happens is internally they will bill the office visit under the MD or the ophthalmologist versus the optometrist, which would give you benefits for vision. You're just going to have to pay for your lenses and frames, which you can buy individual coverage to do that. Where Medicare Advantage, you generally don't pay a monthly premium. They give you vision and dental benefits and some hearing benefits, but what you give up is the coverage. So on a Medicare supplement, if you went to a hospital and you're admitted, you'd have zero out of pocket depending on the plan you had. And then with Medicare Advantage, if you went to a hospital, you would owe a per day copay for every day you're in the hospital, up to 5, 7, 8 days, depending on the plan. So you either pay ahead a smaller amount, or you don't pay anything, and then when something happens, you pay a great deal out of pocket.
Okay, if you just joined us this morning, we're talking right now in the area of of over 65 or however you say. I guess is it start at 65?
Yes, typically Medicare starts at age 65. However, there are people under the age of 65, and Oklahoma has specific laws pertaining to under age 65 health. If you are on A and B of Medicare under age 65, you have two choices. You can either initially take a supplement plan A and get a hospital indemnity to cover your out-of-pocket hospitalization copays, or you can take Medicare Advantage, in which Medicare Advantage you'd be stuck on that until you hit age 65, which you'd have another opportunity to answer no health questions and go on to anything Medicare, original Medicare and a supplement, or continue on with Medicare Advantage.
So our guest this morning, now I know Brody, so I can turn to Brody at any time. The rest of the names I'm not good on. I've got the lady over there. That's Rose, and this is Cade, and is it Christopher or Chris? Oh, wait, I'm asking Brody that. Wait a minute. I'll ask the guy that has the name.
It's either or. I answer to both.
So where do you live?
I live in Piedmont, Oklahoma, but I service the entire state of Oklahoma.
My doctor's in Piedmont. Yeah, Dr. Corman, right?
Yep, I know who that is.
And you would know, and you lost one of your big benefactors, Mr. Funk. Yep. Had offices and holdings in Piedmont, one of his favorite places.
Yes, that ranch out there is kind of sad to see. They announced in the news they're going to be selling off some of the land, and it's rumored they're selling the Clydesdales. I hope that's not the case, because it's a great place to go.
Oh man, isn't it? Isn't it? And that barn, people that don't know, that barn was rebuilt by the Amish. It's a 2-story and houses 15 Clydesdales and all the stuff that goes with them. And then upstairs is where my dad would have put hay bales. But it's a meeting place. I mean, it's a wedding venue too, right?
Yeah, wedding venue as well.
And what most people don't know, because you wouldn't know to ask this, is there's not a piece of metal in that barn. Every piece of wood is held together by pegs, and the Amish. It's an incredible piece of structure.
Beautiful place. Yeah.
And our good buddy Doug Sauter, former coach of the Blazers and the Barons, is one of the overseers of, and was a good friend of the late Bob Funk. Bob Jr. we check in with occasionally, and I don't know what it cost to build the ranch house, but one of my buddy's brothers was the builder, and they delivered the windows. He had to be out there on the day to sign for the windows. There was $186,000 worth of windows in the ranch house.
Yeah, it's a beautiful place. If you have an opportunity to drive by and look at it, definitely do it, because it's beautiful.
Now, we got off of Medicare and we're on to Amish barns now. So stay with us. You might hear about anything. We're talking to some guys today that are experts. And Rosie, you're just sitting over here enthralled.
I am. I'm learning a lot of stuff, and I've just been reading about the guys you said have died too. So I'm familiar with that.
So you gave me another question while you were talking there. You said Medicare A, Medicare. Give me what the nomenclature of the alphabet is.
Sure. So there are initially 5 parts of Medicare: A, B, C, D, and E. A is going to be your hospitalization and acute care coverage, and that's going to cover you at the hospital, the ER, if you have to go to skilled nursing, of something of that nature. Part B is your doctor and your outpatient services, your medical supplies that you would need if you were doing home rehab, some home health care services prescribed by a doctor. Now, I want to make sure I'm clear when I say home health care services, that's not them cooking, cleaning, bathing you, changing your bedding and that kind of stuff. That is only going to be for checking your meds, checking your vitals, doing wound, physical therapy, things of that nature. Part D is your prescription drugs, and Part D is based on the prescriptions that you take. It is the only part of Medicare that is 100% mandatory. It is not an option. If you do not take Part D prescription drugs coverage from the point that it is first eligible, you have 63 days to get that coverage. If not, you're imposed a penalty monthly for the rest of your life. The longer you go without it, the higher that penalty gets. So you don't want to go without Part D coverage. And Part E is Medicare supplement insurance. So that is original Medicare. You can trade all of those for Part C, which is Medicare Advantage, which encompasses your health and your drug coverage. And then, of course, gives you the vision, dental, and hearing benefits if you want those as well.
You know, you just went across something that affects me. The first year that I was eligible, I had a friend who was in the Advantage business. So my first year, I think I'm going to tell you this right, but I'm not absolutely sure. But I pay a penalty and have paid it every year because my first year I took Advantage and I didn't take something that you have to take with Medicare.
Yeah, that would be your Part D coverage. If you're getting a late enrollment penalty on your Social Security statement, that would be your Part D late enrollment penalty.
And that, it's been a while since I was 65. I have paid some penalties for every year for doing that.
Correct. And you know what's very unsettling to a lot of Medicare beneficiaries is that Medicare makes it a mandatory thing, and they expect you to read that 170-page book they send out, Medicare and You, every year. They do not accept "I didn't know" as an excuse. The only way you really get out of paying that penalty is either become destitute and go on Medicare and Medicaid, which is welfare, or you get access to VA coverage or Indian Health. A lot of times that will negate your penalty if you can prove you've had that coverage throughout.
I can die and they're just done then, right? I got them.
Correct.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Don't do that.
I'm not that upset. I'm upset, but I'm not that upset. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have a question. I took out Medicare. I said I want the best I can get. And then my supplement is Health Choice, Oklahoma. Now, I've never been back to a Medicare man. Am I dumb? Should I hook up and find out if anything's different? Since I asked for the best plan, and I've been paying it, tell me if I should go see a Medicare person.
Well, I would tell you every year it needs to be looked at without a doubt. Everything changes. Life changes. Your situation changes. Your health changes. Looking at Health Choice, you can look up, just about every premium that people pay for Health Choice. I believe this year it's $709 for Health Choice for an individual, and for a spouse, of course, it's higher. It's $820 something. It could be a little higher than that per month, and that is a retiree plan. That is a plan that is available to retirees and acts like a Medicare supplement, but is not actually a Medicare supplement. Medicare supplements are based on the 11 Medicare supplements that are standardized by the federal government. If you go to your Medicare and You book, it is in there under the Medicare chart. It will give you all 11 plans that are available. Some are not applicable to everyone. The most generally used ones are going to be Plan G, Plan N, and in some cases, some of the others. But the two main ones are going to be the N and the G. Some cases, the high deductible G for people that are extremely healthy and have high net worths. But looking at Health Choice, if, as an individual, you're $707 to $709 a month for Health Choice benefits, where you could go to a Medicare supplement and with a Medicare supplement pay $292.44 and go absolutely anywhere you want and have better coverage.
So it's the same coverage, different dollar amounts paid?
Yeah, well, different dollar amounts paid, and it's based on your age. So the $292 I looked up based on the young age of Miss Rose here. Somebody turning 65, as Brody said in the intro, we are brokers. We're not biased to one company or another. So we shop for the lowest premium for the same exact coverage. And with the new Oklahoma law called the birthday rule, thanks to the insurance department passing this in October of 23, every person on original Medicare annually has a right to look the month of their birthday or within 60 days after to look to see if they're paying the absolute lowest premium they can for the supplement they're on.
Okay, I misunderstood that. I thought there was like a hunting season for you guys, and it was in the fall. It started and it went, but it's based on my birthday.
Yes, what you're speaking about is the annual election period. That's AEP, and it's October 15th through December 7th. That is the point where you can change your Medicare Advantage plan or look to make sure you're on the right prescription drug plan. Look, if you're getting a bill or a notice saying your premium is going up, down at all on your prescription drug coverage, it's not benefiting you. You need to meet with a licensed insurance professional and get some guidance to make sure you're on the right prescription drug plan so you don't overpay.
So I have Aetna, and I think you looked at it, Brody, didn't you?
Last year be the first year that you and I sat down and we went through all your prescriptions and we looked at all the plans that were available, and we found a plan that gave you the best coverage and it was a low price plan, and we moved you off of what you were on that you'd just been continuing on. We moved you to something that better fits your needs of what you were on now. And you and I will meet during that open enrollment again, and we're scheduled to meet one of those days, and we'll sit down and do that. But we'll also at that same time take a look and see if we need to meet on your birthday and possibly lower, go see what's out there for your supplement if it might be cheaper somewhere else for you.
Well, we're looking at that, man. It's July the 3rd, so it's shopping time, right?
Correct.
Something else on the Part D prescription drug coverage. There are people that don't take medications, and I hear this a lot. Well, I didn't take my Part D because I don't take any medications. Again, Medicare doesn't accept that I didn't know or I don't take medications as an excuse. You're still going to get that penalty. But the one way that they did offer some relief in that is Medicare now requires two companies to offer a zero premium plan to still cover prescriptions. Even if you don't take prescriptions, you can sign up. You avoid getting the penalty, and you don't pay a monthly premium for one of those two plans. This year, it's Blue Cross Blue Shield Basic and Humana Basic. They're both zero premium. And there are people that take 2-3 medications that are, normally very inexpensive. They don't pay for the medication now because they're on that plan. They don't pay a monthly premium, so it's a win-win for them.
So, okay, so Part D is just prescriptions?
Correct. Part D is just prescription drugs.
Is there anything beyond D?
There are pharmaceutical assistance programs that we have access to that can help you if your Part D coverage does not cover a specific medication. So, again, that would warrant us sitting down with you, finding out the medication and the dosage you take, and then finding the appropriate program to get you enrolled in.
Got it. Okay, so there's actually 2 dates to remember, Rosie: our birthday and the what?
Annual election period.
Whew, I'm kind of exhausted. We've covered a little bit of ground here that most of it I didn't have any idea about.
So the answer to my question was yes, I need to see somebody?
Yes, ma'am, you do. Yes, you do.
Okay.
Every year.
And I would say if anybody out there needs help, get a hold of Benny or me, and we'll get you in touch with somebody.
We're now experts. We were complete idiots at the top of the hour. We're now experts. Give us a call. So
we have a name. We have a name now.
yeah, we aren't the guy, but we know a guy, right?
Right.
No, 2 of them. Oh gosh. So this has to be difficult. We no longer like to see people. We no longer like to have people drop in or come and chat with us. You've been doing this for a while. I would think, and I don't know, but I would think that your job is more difficult than it was, say, previous to COVID.
I would disagree. Most of the people that we deal with, they grew up in a time when their mom, their dad, their grandmother, grandpa, their great grandparents, if they did business with someone, they sat down face to face and they did it face to face, where they knew if they had a question, they could reach out, grab a hold of the person, they could ask them a question, and they knew they'd get a straight answer. They'd see their facial reactions and at least feel that they were getting their questions answered. Too many things today are AI, or they're going to a situation where just go online and you can do all the searching you want. Well, if you're not somewhat educated about what you're doing, you can make a wrong turn just like you can driving without a GPS. You may get there eventually, but why not just do the most efficient thing and find somebody to help you get there? And that's what we do. We're not in the pester people business. We don't go out and beat on people's doors and make you feel uncomfortable. Last thing I want to do is chase you down. But during COVID, I still knocked on people's doors, turning 65, wished them an early happy birthday, and offered my services. Take it or leave it. Again, I'm not in the pester people business. If you don't want my help, I'll go down the street. Somebody else is going to want my help. But most of what I do is offer referrals, and Brody's getting to that point now where, you have to know somebody to get to us, and people want to sit and talk with us.
In listening to you talk, I went off on the road that you were on. I read a piece just the other day that I'm going to put about 3 or 4 pages of notes here in just a few seconds. But what this written study was saying was, there was a time 2-3 years ago that everything was internet based in people's minds. Well, you go to the internet to get that. Well, you get that. Now it is coming back around, and for the first time since COVID, as a matter of fact, the people who offer relationship classes and motivational classes are being put on the road again, because it's becoming more and more, like you said, where you can't tell on the internet most of the time what's true and what's not true. I've used this example the other day in a totally different situation. A person was talking to me about, is there AI in radio and television? We've been using AI for 20 years. We just didn't know that it needed the initials AI. I mean, we've been using other people's voices and taking this word out and putting it there to make it sound different for forever. The example that I used about not knowing what information you're getting is, I was watching a sports show. I don't remember if it was the soccer thing or if it was one of the OU baseball games. I'm not sure. Maybe even the basketball. But they went to a break, and they had 4 nationals and 2 local avails, as it turned out. I'm halfway watching. So they run 4 national commercials, and then they run a Gettner Drummond 30-second commercial as the local. It'd be state, but local. Then they run a Gettner Drummond political announcement that makes him sound just a little worse than Adolf Hitler. And then they run another 30-second Gettner. Now, this is on television, so he's standing with Trump with his arm around him, saying that he is Trump's guy. I don't think they meant to schedule those 2 commercials together, but they did. And both of them are presented to us to be absolute fact. You cannot tell what's true and what's not.
Yeah, I mean, if you did some research, I think the stats, something like 33% of AI is actual factual information. The rest of it's just information that it compiled to make the response sound good. So you really have to do your homework. Will it get to the point where it's more trustworthy? Yes, I'm sure it will. But trust and verify is always a great thing to do.
And it's okay to sit across the kitchen table from the person that knows what that particular study is.
Yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily have to meet with you at your home. We meet a lot of people down at Holder Drug. We meet you at the library. We met at restaurants. I've got roughly 5,400 clients in just one county in Oklahoma, and I see every one of them every year. Those people rely on me. They know that I'm not going to give them BS, and that's the relationship that you were talking about, the relationship selling. It's a lost art, and it's something that I think that needs to come back.
And apparently is coming back in a big way. It is Rose and Ben. We're talking Medicare and stuff like that. We have Jody on hand to talk about other stuff. We'll be back right after this.
You're listening to Rose and Ben on KALV.
Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center is proud to offer comprehensive care solutions for those who matter most. From rehabilitation and palliative care to skilled nursing and long-term care, Beatles is committed to providing comfort, dignity, and peace of mind. Now, with a second location, the Beatles family continues its long-standing tradition of excellence, serving the people of Northwest Oklahoma with the same compassion and dedication they've been known for. Come by and see them at 720 North Share Boulevard in Alva. Beatles New Beginnings Nursing Center, your care, your comfort, your community.
This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
This is Rose and Ben. Fall down 7 times, get up 8, ask the questions, and see if you can get an answer. And today we've had a bunch of answers. Christopher and Brody are here with us, and we're going to wrap this up with just a little bit more information that's necessary.
Yeah, I wanted to address the phone calls everybody's getting, wanting to talk to you about your Medicare. Look, there are a lot of scams out there. Medicare and Social Security are not going to call you. Okay. And the people that are calling you are required by Medicare law to have a permission slip, which is called a scope of appointment, signed 48 hours before they call and talk to you to give them permission to do so. If people are calling you, asking you for your Medicare number, absolutely do not give that over the phone. Request to meet anyone in person. And if you didn't request the phone call, ask them for their national producer's number. Make sure you write it down and turn that into the State Department of Insurance, because they are required by law, as any other insurance professional, to get that permission, that scope of appointment signed 48 hours before they talk to you about your Medicare situation.
Brody, thanks a million for you and Christopher coming by. How are the girls?
They're doing well. They're doing well.
Little break here.
Yeah, they realize school's coming up.
Man, it just closed, didn't it? It just ended.
It did just end, but yeah, they are now reverse counting the days, and it's not keeping them too happy.
Right. They are beautiful young ladies. Thank you for coming by today, man.
But thank you for having us.
Remember, July 3rd, my birthday. Yeah, and remember too that with the economy doing so well, there is absolutely no limit to what you can spend on my birthday this year. Remember that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yes, duly noted. Christopher, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Rosie, we know a guy now.
Yes, we did. 2 of them.
2 of them. This is Rose and Ben, and on Mondays we do chamber chats, except when we don't. And then we do them on Wednesday, except when we don't. And then we do... we say, Jody, why don't you come join us on Rose and Ben? Jody, how you doing?
Good. Oh, how's your day?
You know, it's not bad. It's balmy. It's nice. It's the puppies can run outside. You know, the little snub-nosed puppies don't do well in 100-degree heat.
Right. Yeah.
But 79, they're good.
You know, we're just like a week away from your birthday.
Yes.
And you said that there was no limit, but I thought it was a limit to the age that you were.
Wait a minute. We're not talking about, you know how sensitive Rose gets when we start talking about age, Jody.
Oh, okay. All right. I won't bring it up then.
And we're going to do chamber chats, and we're also going to dig in to the other neighborhoods around the 4th of July. I think they're celebrating my birthday, but there is a 4th of July thing, too. Welcome, Jody.
Hey, thanks. Hey, it's my first time on the Rose and Ben show. How exciting is this?
This is exciting.
This is like,
We're glad you're here.
this is something to be aspired to.
Okay, I've got a lot of questions for you.
Okay, great.
I've been thinking about them, and shall I just dig in with my questions? Sure. Okay, I've been kind of making a survey in case if somebody wants to celebrate the 4th on the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th.
Okay.
And I've kind of done some research. I was going to ask you, but then I'm going to be the one that's telling.
Okay.
So on the 3rd, Friday the 3rd, Tacoma and Waukeeta are going to have a celebration.
All right.
So you can go someplace on the 3rd, Friday. If you want to go someplace on the 4th, of course, Alva, Moreland, Cherokee, Winoka, and Hartner are having their celebration on the 4th. And I understand Hartner is still looking for a speaker, a man that's a veteran that might go up and speak. If they do, contact me or Dot Tyree for their big celebration. And then if you want to go someplace on Sunday the 5th, you can go to Carmen. So you can go the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th.
Absolutely. And let me just give you a few extra things in that of things that are going around. Just I know that on the 3rd of July at Tacoma, there's going to be a dunk tank, a bounce house, a water slide, money dig, wagon rides, turtle races, food trucks, and silent auctions. So make sure that you head over there early so you can take part in all of that. You can follow the Tacoma Volunteer Fire Department page and possibly win a free t-shirt if you will go share their 3rd of July post that they have there on Facebook. Also on that, you can get in a raffle for July 3rd of winning a half of beef. So if your freezer is low and you don't have a steer on the schedule, you could win a half of beef for a $10 ticket.
I was just listening this morning as I was coming in to the markets, and I was thinking about this. A half a beef right now will cost you about $1,600 if you go buy it today.
So that's quite the value. They are raffling it off on July 3rd. You can get your ticket from a Tacoma Volunteer Fire Department volunteer. There we go. Get it from one of those guys who volunteer, and that has been donated by Pate Agency and M&M Farms Herefords. They that half a beef. So you can check that out, $10 per ticket. I'm thinking, I mean, we have beef, but we could always use more beef because we're always cooking up beef at the Wesley House, every semester for the students. So I'm thinking I'll go buy a $10 ticket and maybe get a half a beef. Yeah.
I don't know if you can get a half a beef for $1,600, but it's worth a try.
And you might put it together with this, Jody. I just thought of this. On July the 2nd, the Rose and Ben show will be on the road, not a long road, will be at Holder Drug. And Sally is giving away a 5-burner grill. You get it to tie in half a beef, a 5-burner grill. See where I'm going there? All you got to do, go down there. The sign-up things are there, the little sign-up drawing things. And Rose and I will be there doing the Rose show. This doesn't have anything to do with beef, but I want to run it in here while I think about it. Vivian of Vivian's Flowers and Things in Winoka for the longest time has been the gal that put together a bike giveaway for the rodeo. And she aged out of that, if you will. And so somebody else is doing, her part on the committee at the rodeo. But kids were saying, are you going to do bicycles this year? So Vivian has a bike giveaway going on July the 4th, sponsored by Vivian's Winoka Flowers and Things. Registration's open now. You go down there. The bikes are bought to serve ages 3 to 5 is one size bike. Ages 6 to 9 is another size bike. Ages 10 to 14 is another size bike. And there are several of them, thanks to local businesses and community donations. So get her done. That's a July the 4th giveaway.
also happening on July 4th, right here in Alva. The Little Red Hens are putting on a 4th of July parade. So we have not had one since I've been around here, a 4th of July parade here in Alva. So come be a part of that and join the Little Red Hens in celebrating the America's 250th birthday with a parade around the square. We all love a parade around the square. So if you want to be a part of that, you can decorate your golf cart, four-wheeler, or bicycle. You win that bike in Winoka, just bring it up here, ride it through the parade, if you don't need. The parade is at 11:30, so maybe it won't be in time. The giveaway won't be in time, but.
So here's the thing you could do. I mean, we are a close community. Do the Alva Parade at 11:30, and then go to Winoka for a 5:30 walking parade. The Independence Parade, there's a free swim during the day, and then at 5:30, a walking parade. So you do the Alva thing in the morning. Rose, you've got the vehicle, you've got the golf cart, you've got the you got everything. So decorate those babies. You can make both parades.
And get your free hot dog right after the parade here in Alva at Marshall Funeral Home parking lot. Little Red Hens are making hot dogs. So free hot dog feed. You can grab yourself a hot dog and then run around. I mean, you're right. We are in close communities. We can get to multiple things in one day in these surrounding communities. So that is happening downtown. You can still sponsor a rocket if you would like to for the 4th of July fireworks right here in Alva. There will be a concert at the fairgrounds. It's the Northwest Outlaws at the fairgrounds. That is happening prior to the fireworks. So 4th of July fireworks extravaganza and the 250th celebration of America's independence at the Alva Recreational Complex in Alva is where it will be.
Okay, I was wanting you to make sure that we knew where to go to see the fireworks.
Yes. So there's multiple places that you can park. You can park over at the fairgrounds. You could park probably I'm thinking at Ranger Field. You're going to be able to see them all over the place, wherever you are, right? I mean, again, small enough spaces, we get to see lots of fireworks.
Could you kind of go over again for us what Alva has to offer on that day?
Sure. So on the 4th, the Little Red Hens are sponsoring the parade. That's at 11:30. Hot dog feed directly after that. Go run around wherever you want to go. And then that evening will be the concert of the Northwest Outlaws at the fairgrounds and fireworks at dark. Of course, dark is what? 9:30 or so. And that they put those off. They'll have the blocked off area. So I don't think that you can actually park at the rec, but that's where they're putting the fireworks off.
You can get pretty close. Yeah. But is there a place for my turtle?
There's no turtle races here in Alva. No turtles.
I'll turn him loose.
There you go. Remember not to paint your turtles, right? Because then if you paint your turtles, then it stops their, camouflaging from the predators. So don't paint your turtle.
Probably stops up their pores.
Probably. If you choose to do that, make sure that it washes off.
So we've gone from fireworks to turtle pores.
It's all related, Ben.
Okay, I have some more questions. Can you tell us what's coming up? Neat stuff. You girls do such a great job, and you've always got a lot of things coming up for us to partake in Alva. Can you give us an idea? I'm looking forward to Christmas already.
Well, we just had last night, we had our 90th birthday. The chamber turned 90 years old, and as of June 24th, So we celebrated that. June 24th, 1936 is when the chamber was born. And so we thought, let's have a birthday party. So we did that. We had a great turnout. It was a party in the park at Hatfield Park. And then afterwards, we had a free swim up at the swimming pool. There were, I think that they counted at least 250 people came in for the free swim. And I think that we had, I don't know, 100, 125 who were there for the dog celebration, hot dog feed. And we had out our chamber games that we sometimes bring out on the square. We took those. We have a great board who did that for us. And so shout out to Moore's Venture Food, who actually, we ordered a cake and then they just donated it to us. They just gave us the cake. So we had cake, and Ultimate Ice Cream came down and served ice cream. I'm sure that she'll be around at several different events throughout the 4th, but that's what we did do. Now, what's coming up? I will say this week, out at Wendy Ford, you can go test drive any vehicle on the lot and get a free pool pass. So you can go grab I think that's a day pass. So go do that. And then in addition to that, they are donating $20 for every test drive taken to the Caney family, so you can be brave like Blakely. And she is suffering from, she's been diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, and so they are contributing to the family for that. So if you just go take a test drive, they're going to give $20. If you end up purchasing a vehicle, they're giving $200. That's a great fundraiser. So that is something that Wendy Ford is doing. They also have this weekend on Saturday, they have a customer appreciation lunch, and you get free ice cream from 818 Diner. And if you have not had their homemade ice cream, good stuff. So lots of raffles that you'll get your ticket in if you go take a test drive and do different things. So go get your ticket in the raffle this week.
This is Rose and Ben featuring Jody of the Chamber, and Rose has given you all kinds of information, places you can go. Rose tells me where to go 3-4 times a week. We'll be back right after this timeout.
It's Rose and Ben on KALV. Let's talk about your future. Are you looking for a career change or possibly training in computers, health careers, automotive, cosmetology, digital design, electrical trades, welding, or biomedical sciences? At Northwest Technology Center, we offer these programs for adults, high school, and homeschool students from Alene Clio, Alva, Canton, Cherokee, Fairview, Freedom, Ringwood, and Winoka. Call to enroll today at 580-327-0344 in Alva or 580-227-3708 in Fairview. Northwest Technology Center is preparing students for success in education, careers, and life. This is Rose and Ben on KALV.
Rose and Ben, big doings going on, celebrating 250 years of the United States of America and celebrating July 4th, and then, of course, celebrating my birthday, July 3rd. Because the economy is so good, we are doing a public service announcement advising you there is no limit to what you can spend this year on my birthday gift. Rose talked about things going on the 3rd, other than my birthday. And on the 5th, Jody's talking about the 4th. Also on the 4th, as we've talked about some, is the Winoka Independence Day. They have stuff going on all throughout the afternoon and evening. There's a free pool, a free swim. Nam and Pops are on location with inflatables. We have turtle races in Winoka. We have turtle races. Don't let that turtle out yet. 7:30, have your turtle, hosted by the Cimarron River Stampede Rodeo Committee. Prizes by Adam and Mary Gaskell, so you know that they will be sumptuous. 8 o'clock, there's a watermelon eating contest and a jalapeno eating contest. I don't know, Rosie. No, maybe not. Not for you? No? Okay. Homemade ice cream contest at 8:30, and then we go to the flag presentation, those things going into the evening. So, our land is flat enough, Jody. It's not totally flat, but I mean, you should be able to see quite a few towns' fireworks around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was one word that you said, and I was curious about the definition. What's the definition of sumptuous?
Sumptuous?
Sumptuous.
Sumptuous is a combination of delicious and can't get enough of it.
Well, that's what I was wondering. Are they like yummy goods to eat? Is that what they provide? Because that's what I think of when I think of sumptuous.
How did I use sumptuous? Was it sumptuous cow pies? What was I saying?
You were saying something about the prizes that Adam and Mary are providing. You said sumptuous prizes.
I know where I was going with that. Everything that Mary touches has to do with sumptuous.
Okay. That was it. Well, that was what was on my mind, so I had to ask it. Ask the question. Where does Winoka have their fireworks? Where do you go sit for something like that?
You sit in the middle of Main Street. You sit in the middle of Main Street, which there'll be things so that you can't get run over by the big trucks. The big trucks go a different way. And you look north, and you know where Bill and Charlene live, and right beside them to the east is that big lot. That's where they'll fire from. Okay. That's where the boys will be firing from, boys and girls. It's a combined effort.
Okay. Well, back when I was a kid, it used to be at the rodeo grounds. So that's what I was just curious where that happened.
Before we run out of time, I want to ask you, are there any great events coming up that we need to be looking for?
Absolutely. Tonight starts off Shrek the Musical Junior, and that is with Act One Theater, which is the Alva Community Theater Incorporated. That's what Act One stands for. It's the kids that are putting this on. They've been working hard all summer, and tonight is the first showing at 7 p.m. You can also get in on that on Friday or Saturday. That is this week. You can reserve your seats by going to alvatheater.com, or you can give them a call or scan a QR code that is in the newsletter. If you are not on our newsletter, make sure that you get on our newsletter so that you can always know what is happening. You can do that at alvaok.net to sign up for our newsletter, and then don't just sign up for it, but open it. So that is happening the next 3 days. Also, every Thursday, there is a community Bible study in the back of Graceful Arts Gallery and Studios that is put on by Steve Ham, who is the pastor of the College Hill Church of Christ. On Saturday, in addition to the musical, is also the Farmers Market. You can go down on Flynn and check out the Farmers Market. Alva's Farmers Market on Flynn is located in the Woods County Courthouse parking lot. That happens at 7:30 a.m. until noon, and then on Tuesdays from 5 to 7. Of course, like I said earlier, it is the Customer Appreciation Lunch and Raffle at Wendy Ford. And then if you have not got your tickets yet for Straight Tequila Night, you need to get those. That is happening at the Nightlight this Saturday. They have already been here once to perform, and they are stellar. It is a 90s country cover band, so you know it's good. We got some good country there in the 90s, so go check out Straight Tequila Night at the Nightlight. You can get your tickets by calling Nightlight, by going to Eventbrite, or by showing up at the door, but get them pre-sale. That's always the best way, is go ahead and get it pre-sale, then you're guaranteed in.
Oh, there's so much stuff going on. This is Rose and Ben. I want to take just a minute for this shout out. It's stuck in my mind, and this is a shout out to the crew in Winoka. That does not mean that the crews around at Alva, at Freedom, at Cherokee, at Kiowa did anything less. But I know that this happened, and I want to mention it. We had a big storm night the other night, straight winds at 95 miles an hour. That is the low end of a hurricane. hurricanes start at 95. So now we don't have a tornado. We have hurricanes. So the power went off. The crew in Winoka got the call in the middle of the night. Power's off in Winoka. So Mike Perot, the supervisor, called his guys and John Smiley, the commissioner from that area. And so they worked to get the power on. Then they started getting calls of, I've got a tree across my such and such, or I can't get my car out. The tree has fallen on it. So that crew of 4 guys worked from about midnight through the night, then through their regular shift in the day, and got off at 6 o'clock that evening. That's the community stuff. That's the spirit of we got a problem to take care of. We got problems to take care of. We're supposed to take care of this town, and I'm betting that there are other crews that did the same. I just happen to know about that one. So thank you guys. Thank you. And come on now. Are we through tornado season, Jody, and we're just into hurricane season? Is that the deal?
You never know these days.
You don't. And watching the weatherman on TV is not necessarily the answer.
Well, hey, Jody said this was the first time she ever got to be with us. We got to have you back more. Okay. You got a lot of good stuff.
Okay.
Wait a minute. She has her own show. What? Come on. Okay, we're heading out. Did we forget anything, Jody?
That was all that I had.
Buy beef. No, go win beef.
Go win some beef.
Go win some beef. And don't give us your beef. And everything that we do here is sumptuous. And we'll see you back again next week. For Rose and Ben, we forgot Rose's words of wisdom. Oh, my God. How much time do we have?
We got 50 seconds.
We got 50 seconds for Rose's words of wisdom. Here we go.
I've got it. Life is ours to be spent, not to be saved.
Let me think about it. You got anything on that, Jody?
She's wiser than I am.
Yeah. The wise of the ancients. Thank you for joining us. We now return you to what we laughingly referred to as regular programming.